to another learning live stream with me, Christian Schiller, after a little bit of a break. I think, honestly, April has been, no, it's only just begun April. The past month has been a bit all over the place. I've lost track of my schedule, to be perfectly honest with you. But there we go. We fit things in when you can. Every week, once or twice a week, most of the time, I take a look at something that interests me. Usually on Mondays, but the past couple of weeks, a Tuesday, I have a look at something kind of developer / tech focused that I want to take a look at. And usually as a bit of a learning ground, as a test bed, to see if it's something I might want to turn into an edited video. I am looking today on my learning live stream at GitHub Blocks, a new feature from GitHub that's in technical preview and sounds quite intriguing. I am Christian Schiller. If you like my videos, which are normally not quite so problematic, you can subscribe, say hello, whether you're watching live or later, and you can find more about me in general at christianschiller.com. Let's get back to where I was. All right, here we go. GitHub Blocks. Reimagine repositories. Extend your code base with custom interactive blocks. Build rich documentation, enhance your workflows, and bring your repository to life. Sounds amazing. Also doesn't say a great deal. We could have a look down here. Dynamic readmes. The website seems to be a little bit broken. I'm not quite sure what's going on. But yeah, dynamic widgets into a repository for documentation, for metrics, for all sorts of things. I am super into dynamic documentation and something I actually talk about quite a lot. I have built some sites that do that, and I'm actually planning a couple of conference talks for the rest of this year to talk about this. So this is actually very appropriate for that. Now, I don't know why the website's broken, but there we go. Everything seems to be broken on this stream today, so hopefully the actual feature will work, because that's what's the most important. Let's get started. So, okay, this is the onboarding and the sample repository. Okay, there is a Discord server, apparently. I didn't realize there was a Discord server. I will take a look at that later. Actually, I'll save it now. There we go. You can extend GitHub's interface. It's interesting, actually, how this used to be something that was all the rage back in the early days of the internet, which I remember well, with things like MySpace, and everyone decided it was a bad idea. And now with things like React components, etc., it's actually kind of become easier, but more saner, I suppose is a better way of saying it. You know, you can't just have HTML everywhere. That was mostly the problem in those days. Estimated for files, folders, if you have access, you can view any public repository on GitHub. Okay. Build your own. I'm still kind of interested to know exactly what it is right now. Yeah. Am I using the Blocks platform? Yes, I guess I am. From up here, yeah. You can switch which block you're using in the drop-down menu in the top left. Okay. And then these are repositories in their own right, I guess. So we could look at this one. It loads, switches, load and loads dynamically. Doesn't scroll, strangely, but there we go. I would also think you would be able to assemble them in like a grid or something like that, but let's see, what else? I'm not sure. Here's another one we could use on a markdown file. Yeah, it looks a little broken, but you can see the changes here. Sort of see what's happened. It doesn't seem to quite work, but you can see what's happened. Yeah, we get the idea. This is interesting. I think I can't actually edit this. I mean, that's reasonable. It's not my repository. Okay. Folder blocks can visualize all the contents of a folder. I think that might be a typo. I still don't entirely understand that statement either. Folder blocks can visualize the contents of a folder or even the entire repository. Okay, I guess I don't have one right now. Block features view live data, move your mouse over the screen. Okay, a bit weird, but okay, good. As well as show the code for that sketch. What this is going to update, or oops, oh no, that's the, okay. So I suppose, yeah, I could change this live. No, again, it's not. I need to fork this. I think I need to fork this. Can I fork it? Is that? Doesn't look like something that I can do within this interface, but I guess I can switch to, yeah, how do I switch to kind of normal Git? That's the move. Here we go. So I will fork this. Yes. Yes. I don't think there's, you can see there's kind of, well, it's not immediately obvious how you switch from one to the other, but it is a technical preview. That's okay. So I guess it'd be nice if it was kind of blocks enabled that I could see some kind of toggle. But I guess what I can do is change the organization here. Yeah, there we go. Now, oh, okay, I need to install the app. All right. Mm-hmm. 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 Oh. Bear with me. All right, we've gone around in a bit of a circle there, but this should now be okay. Yes. So I would hope that now I can make changes. I'm not sure actually. I don't think yes, I think I can. I think. Yes. Okay, cool. Save. Oh, interesting. Anyway, I wanted to go down to that code example. That would be the one that's really cool. Let's see. Okay. No. I mean, I don't know if that's... okay. So this is just loading... Oh, it jumps around a bit, doesn't it? That's where was I? So this could be changed. I won't click that again. That seemed to get... Yeah. So I can't change this. That's okay. But here we have... Yeah, I mean, this... I get it. This is a little fiddly. It's hard to kind of see it. And you end up with these multiple scroll bars, which is always a problem in these sorts of interfaces. I might make the window a little bit larger if I can. Hello, would you like to? Thank you. Okay. Yeah, it's a bit fiddly because this is kind of squashing a big window into a small window. This is also, oh, that's a completely different code, yeah. For example, did that change? I think it did. Yes. Yeah. So this is yeah, block it itself. Now this is confusing because I'm assuming that's still referring to the block down beneath. It's a little hard to tell. Yeah. This is, and what is this? This I think is just a video. Yeah. Still getting the root folder of this repository. The root folder as in this? I don't know why I have all this selecting text everywhere. These highlighting here as well. So I guess that's, yeah. Ah, click the wrong part. There we go. Okay, that didn't work. Maybe. Oh. It's not really quite working either, is it? Okay. Okay. Let's ignore that one for now. We saw this one. Saw this one. View changes over time. We've also included the commit history for the file or folder you're viewing in the right sidebar. So that's another block, I guess. How do I switch it? I'm not sure. So that isn't. Is that a block in itself? I can't change it though, which is interesting. Okay. All right. Okay, all well and good. A little bit fiddly, but fine, I suppose. Interesting concept. I think, as with many of these sorts of things, it's very much dependent on what you create and what people use, and then the APIs that underpin that. But it's an interesting idea. So let's attempt to create one, see what's possible. Navigate to docs, developing blocks. So the folder or, okay. And that doesn't seem to work. So I guess we'll go to intro. Okay, cool. You can use blocks made by the community without building blocks yourself. It would be interesting to see what's available, I suppose. And that was, let's go back a second. Where was that? List. Blocks platform. Maybe that was it. Let's see. No. Okay. I'm sure there was a link in here that showed you just where to find the best examples. Example blocks? No. Like a marketplace. Okay, maybe not. All right, fine. I'm sure it was somewhere, but okay. Template repository which you can use as a starting point. I'm assuming it's going to be JavaScript. This template includes a dependency of the library. Okay, example blocks. Let's have a look at some of those first. So there's a JSON file, code, 3D file, CSS, Excalidraw. So is this the what's possible, or is this what's in the example repository? Yeah, so I guess that's the examples they've built, I guess. So, okay, let's look at the CSS one, for example. Don't see it now. Well, let's go for live markdown. Search TypeScript. Yeah. And I'm assuming it would pull in things from a library and then a whole bunch of other dependencies. Yeah, makes sense. API calls make sense. Okay, let's go back to creating our own, I think. Okay. And then you use this tag. Actually, this is interesting. This is something I don't see used very much on GitHub repositories. I actually created one of my own for the project that I contribute to, which is Veil. There's a lot of community contributed styles, and we have a similar thing, so you could group them together and find them. Okay, that basically just said everything we need. I don't know what this link will go to. It's the same page again. Okay, building your first block. Let's pop this over here. Actually, I'll pop it over here. We're mostly interested. I think you're mostly interested in seeing the code, and my face gets in the way. Use the blocks template. Okay, let's do that. Pop over there. blocks test. All right. Must admit, this live preview thing is getting kind of weird. Just get it back to that. No. I don't know if that's any better. Like clicking on it just makes things edit. Like it just gets a bit odd. Okay. Yes, yes, yes. Clone it? What do you mean locally? Okay, all right, let's do that. Sure. Uh-huh. Yeah. Oh, okay. Let's get a VS Code window open. I know I have VS Code windows open elsewhere, so I'll be careful there. There you go. Let's test. Okay. Close that one out of the way. Pop that over there. Yarn install. I should have done that first, I suppose. Okay, that was pretty quick and easy. And yarns. Start. It's gonna happen. Yeah. Oh, I'm in the wrong. Oh. That's why it was quick to install. I was in the wrong folder. There we go. That's a bit more like it. And now what happens? There's a development server. Okay. You'll be redirected to the blocks platform with your locally developed blocks embedded in it. You can see your blocks by clicking on the block picker towards the top of the page, but I am not on that page. But, so I should see, I don't. I don't see that. I don't see that. I wonder if... Oh, no. I called it something different. I think that's why. No. Probably searching for block is not a good idea. It could be... Could potentially be a problem with Safari, maybe? So I'll open it in a Chromium browser to be sure, which has popped up over on my other screen, of course, as it always does. Let's see. No. I don't see it. That's a problem. I wonder if let's try. Let's try a couple of quick things. I'm just going to restart it. And oops, what happened there? Let's do that in here instead. Yes, I have a sticky V key. I can see the dev server here is populated this time. Oh, actually, I didn't look last time, but I can see it up there. Let's keep console open. Blocked by client. Okay, apparently I blocked it. It could be stuff. Maybe. I do have a lot of blockers. Oof, I'm still seeing a lot of errors. Ah, but it's there now. Okay, so it was all my various ad blockers. Okay, I'm probably sure they're aware of that. Okay. One example folder block. I'm still finding it. Oh, I see. So here's the file block because I'm looking at a file. And I guess if I go to a folder, I will see the folder block. Yeah. Okay. I'll go back to the file for now. And now you see this little icon here from dev server. I don't see that anymore, but it's a technical preview, so things are going to change quite regularly. Here we go. Just saw that, but it also turns out that Brave's default blockers also block it. But there we go. Okay, so to create your own custom blocks, you need to do two things. Define your custom block, code your block. That seems reasonable. If you open up, okay, let's go back. TypeScript blocks config.json. Let's bring that down a little bit. Okay. We can see the references here. So the name, the type, I guess it could be defined as a multiple type. Matches. I don't know if there's no kind of helper here yet. I wonder if there's an extension yet. Doesn't look like it, which is reasonable, to be fair. Okay. Type determines whether it applies to or. Doesn't seem to imply it can be and ID. I think that makes sense. Type and description. Entry matches, so a file path. Okay. So in this case, it's everything, but I suppose we could have, like Markdown, for example. It's not hot loaded. Okay. Code your block. That's the easy part. So it will be looks like the folder one is just code and it's React, primer React. Not familiar with that. And the file has TypeScript and some CSS. So that's actually something we could change quite easily, I suppose. Let's make it like that and go back to, there we go. It's not particularly viewable, is it? It's also, there's some padding here, which I'm not trying to click the button, but fair enough. Maybe I'll, now we're smooth sailing, I will bring it back into my one. I wonder if you can edit, oh no, because it's running elsewhere, isn't it? Yeah, it's kept the color, which is good. It's slightly confusing. I don't actually want to, I just want to click the button. Oh, okay. Well, this is padding here, which is interesting. I mean, there's nothing in the CSS. Probably here, I guess. I don't know. It's kind of getting to a level of things I don't really want to mess with now. But it's interesting you can see that that's possible. Trying to remember what P means in these padding. So we could bring that down, just again as an example of, yeah, there we go. And now we see things have changed a bit there. Let's make that color a little more visible. Let's go for a nice, garish green. There we go, lovely. Okay, get the idea. Your block entry file must have it as its default export. So that'll be down. Oh, it's up the top here in this case. Let's just get that out of the way. The block component. Yeah. Metadata. Blocks can store freeform metadata about themselves in the repository where they are used. There we go. As opposed to the repository containing the code that powers the block. Metadata is unique and committed to the GitHub blocks folder. Well, there isn't anything. Or is that inside that? No, there's nothing in there right now. Configuration data, an on update metadata hook. So we can see if that's there anywhere. Oh, it is, which is interesting. So why? So I guess, I don't know how this, if this is going to work, because we saw this, and now, okay, now it's referencing that path. Interesting, okay. And does that mean that now that exists? No, so where's that gone? Let's see. To update it will create a commit. A commit where though? Is it in... so it's... Okay. So it's not, yeah, that makes sense. It's in the metadata for the block for the repository. Okay, that makes sense. I don't think that was where they are used. Yes, it does mention it. Okay, cool. Okay, that's interesting. I'm actually starting to get some ideas for some blocks here. Okay. 3 props which facilitate editing content in blocks, and I'm assuming that's going to be somewhere. Somewhere. It's going to be somewhere. Not quite sure where, but original content contains original content of the file, is editable on update content. Okay. I would still like to sort of see that somewhere. Also, to be honest with you, it looks like there's more than that, actually. Just out of interest. So is that the same? I think that's something different, maybe. Maybe here. Yeah. So there are more as well here. I'm not quite sure. I mean, maybe it's just relating to this statement. 3 props which facilitate editing content, but there's other props as well. Maybe there's no, the different ones. Yeah, makes sense. Okay. Blocks can be nested inside other blocks. Oh dear. Import other files, use third-party dependencies with NPM. GitHub primer React components. Okay, that's that one. Yep, that makes sense. Good. What are we up to? We're up to, what page am I on? That's interesting. I think I'm on this page, but oh no, I guess that blue bar there indicates that. So deploying. From the repository settings page, make sure your workflow. So I'm assuming this is the repository for the block now we're referring to. So where is it? This one. So it'd be in, why do I not have any settings? Other there. Having the window shrunk too small. Read and write permissions for the action, which builds the blocks. Is it there? I guess it's there. Oh, but here is, trying to figure out workflow permissions. Okay, maybe I do need to be here. Okay. Read and write. Okay, I won't do that because I'm sure GitHub doesn't want a bunch of the same example block over and over again. Commit and then just commit as normal. So I assume that the action is the thing that puts it in the right place, I guess. Let's see. I guess it just picks up on the template because this is all fairly standard stuff. So there's something, I guess it's the blocks config, the etc. that determines that it's a block. Wait for it to finish, and then it's available. Yeah, and that. Okay. So let's have a look. These are the props applied to every block. We just looked at some of that. Okay. Context. Okay. Okay. Yep. Yeah, I think some of this we just saw. Props received. This is yeah. Okay. Cool. Examples. This is 3D. This is Mermaid. I would be interested to see that. Although GitHub does support Mermaid by default, I think, from memory. And it's actually detected it. So I would assume what would be interesting here is if you could, this would get very confusing, I think, in terms of an interface layout, but if you could edit the block, like you can edit a file and it forks it and etc. and then you edit it in the normal GitHub layout, you could do the similar thing. I mean, obviously I can go here, but the reason why I want to, interesting, that didn't, there we go. I was interested to see if this used, and that took me straight to the file, so that's interesting. There is already a little bit of confusion there. I was expecting to go to the repository, but what I was looking for, yeah. So that's what I was interested in seeing this here. If it was relating to particular files, which it is, it's detected that that was a Mermaid file. And I'm assuming, yeah, same for, so this is cool. And yeah, so you're starting to see, this is where things actually get quite interesting. So you could have living style guides here. And I can already think of some examples here for some of my own use cases. glib is a 3D model. An avocado, I'm assuming, can I? Yes, I can turn it and I guess zoom in on it. Oop, yep. The drawing, the Scala draw, yep, etc., etc. JSON, I guess it's going to be some kind of formatter. I don't know, sentence encoder. I'm not quite sure what that means. It's loading as well. Not completely sure what it did. Did it experiment with a sentence encoder? I don't know what a next sentence encoder is, but this looked to me like JSON, which it is. Yeah. Okay. So it's doing something with the JSON data, which is, that's an interesting one. You could have some kind of basic data visualization stuff. We looked at the component, a sketch, P5 sketch. So that's what we saw earlier. Yeah. Drawing library, package.json. So that's another JSON file. So JSON Explorer. Yeah. So we get etc. etc. What I'm interested here, though, this is where I think the relation gets interesting. Say, for example, yes, I'm in my fork. So if I want to add a new key, where did it go? Is it down the bottom? Or yeah. If I add that, oops. It looks like it is committed. Yeah. So if I open this up here, and look inside this package.json, scroll down. No, it's not there. Interesting. Kind of looked like it was doing something. Commit to this. And then you click save. There we go. Okay, that makes sense. You wouldn't. It is GitHub after all. You don't want to just commit stuff without any of looking at it. So now, I assume if I refresh, we'll see. Yeah, there we go. What else? Maybe so style guide. I'm guessing is going to. That's the rendering of the style guide, which is pretty cool, and a CSV. Oh yes. Now this is useful, I think. Hang on, I'm just trying to get the editing to work. To give a bit more space. And we've even got some kind of thing at the top here. So I will change this, attempt to change this value. Yeah. That's not going to update until we save it, I would assume. So this I like because I've been trying to find a way to create a kind of GitHub sheet style interface to CSV data for some time. You know, and you get various tools that can do it, but this kind of goes straight to the source, as it were. Also, it relies on the quality of the block. And now I assume that this may change. Let's see. Yes. Hard to tell. I guess I didn't really change enough. Yeah, it's somewhat hard to tell, but I would think it changed something. So that's cool. Yeah. All right, definitely some interesting ideas. I think that's probably good for now. What do we have here? This is code. I'm not completely sure what else I'm expecting to see here. Sandbox. Let's summarize. Oh boy. Let's try this. It's actually amazing. Where did it go? Where did it go? Not even, I think, 2 years ago, we were talking in a Telegram channel about a summarizer of conversations, and we didn't really have a way to do it, and now it exists. That's odd. It was on this one, wasn't it? No, it was only on the JavaScript. Not really sure what it's doing. Anyway, yeah, it's a cool idea. I don't really know how to. What is the? There isn't really a first page. As soon as you go to Let's Get Started, you get taken to that repository, and that's kind of the first page, I suppose. Yeah. I don't know. Let me, as an experiment, try something a bit more complicated. Let's go to, so we have to do, we basically replace the normal URL with this. So let's go to my normal GitHub. Let's start with my website. That's actually my old website, isn't it? I need to switch that over. Oh, no. Tell a lie. It's on different branch. So, and now, well. So this is an Astro. Oh, that didn't copy. Let's try that again. Commit. And to here. Oh, no, wrong did I get wrong? I don't think it likes the branch. Let's see. Oh no, it doesn't like the branch. You have to switch the branch differently. I mean, this is Jekyll, which... Okay, you only need the app to save changes or open pull requests. Whoa. So let's switch to that. So, for example, if I go to... I don't even know where to begin. Just trying to find a... So that's code, yeah. It's markdown. It doesn't recognize front matter by the looks of it. I need like a normal TypeScript file. These are all Astro files. Maybe this wasn't a good example. Astro, yeah. It's not a very good example, maybe. And these are markdown. It doesn't handle front matter, interestingly. Yeah, it doesn't handle front matter. Components. Astro. I want to find some TypeScript. Maybe there is no TypeScript in here. Which makes sense, I suppose. What about images? Are there one for images? Image. That's it. Yeah. TypeScript. Code again. Okay, maybe that wasn't a good example. Let's think of one other. What? I wonder if it's clever enough to pick up a VS Code extension. We've got that again. Not sure how helpful this is really, but we've got the JSON Explorer, and the font size is very large, but couldn't parse that for some reason. It's a JavaScript file. Git ignore. Yeah, I mean, no, not everyone's going to have created blocks for everything yet. Yeah, license Explorer would be quite cool. I think, maybe. TypeScript. So it's just code again. Yeah. Well, these don't seem to do a great deal quite yet. It seemingly doesn't want to explain my code. No, okay. What else? I'm not going to be able to run it. I don't think this is really going to work because it's all VS Code extension and very sort of tried at least. Yeah, it wasn't a fair example. Anything else I can quickly try with? I do so many of these tests. Sometimes I look and I think, where did I get that repository from? This is Flutter. I don't know if it's going to understand Flutter yet. Probably not. Again, we're going to get the minimap, which is a bit all over the place. Yeah, it's just code again. It's very much those kind of visual files that I think work better, strangely, instead of code, actually. Dear Lord, okay. Yeah. Anyway, we get the idea. All right, I think we get the idea. So that was GitHub Blocks. It's in a technical preview. It's interesting. I'm not sure about it though. I sort of wonder how many people will find it massively useful. And it's very much dependent on the quality of the blocks. And if there's one thing that it could be a struggle that we may or may not need right now, it's more sort of abandoned projects that no one maintains. But then again, workflows worked quite well, but they're very single purposed. I don't know. It's also potentially to get messy quite quickly. I think it's almost an ability for GitHub to open up what is possible with the platform. You know, it renders various files by default, and people always say, well, what about this and what about that? It's like, well, if you want a renderer for restructured text, I'm not actually sure if GitHub doesn't handle that or not, but you could create one, I guess, if it's got a JavaScript module, that kind of thing. So that's where I feel like it could be interesting. I'll keep an eye on it. I may try and write a block myself. I don't know if I'm going to get time, but I may try. Anyway, apologies for the problems at the beginning. If you even see them anymore, I'm not really sure. I will go and check now we're done. If you've enjoyed what you saw, please subscribe. Please leave a comment. If you've tried GitHub Blocks, leave a comment in the comments. Unsurprisingly, that's where you often comment. And you can find more about me at christianschiller.com. And I will be back with another learning live stream tomorrow, same time, 4 p.m. Central European time. And I'm going to look at, what's it called? I'm going to be looking at BrewWrite, I think. Writer's Brew, that's it. It's an AI assistant for macOS for writing that's native and claims to work anywhere. So that sounds intriguing. So until then, I will see you tomorrow. Thank you very much for joining me. Apologies for the VPN nonsense at the beginning, and take care, everybody.